I think both the Hong Kong and China market will perform well in the second half, given that the Chinese economy is still growing at a very high speed. The GDP growth is average about 10% a year. So I think that will reflect on the stock market. We expect the Hong Kong Hang Seng Index will test at 24,000 this year. And for the Chinese Enterprise Index, I think this wave will test 16,000. Of course, we will not put a ceiling on the Chinese Enterprise Index because I think on the long term, it will continue to go up. Yeah, certainly. Any extension program of the QDII quota will help the liquidity flow into Hong Kong, especially now that there is a price gap between the H shares and the A shares. So people who think that the A shares have been too high will obviously put some of the money into the H shares market in Hong Kong. So that will help on the Hong Kong stock market. And not only from QDII and the overseas investor, they will think that because of a liquidity flow in Hong Kong, they will also invest more in Hong Kong. There are a number of factors that we have to consider. One is, of course, the ongoing macroeconomic measures by the Chinese government trying to cool down the economy. But in the long term, that will be helpful for a healthy economic growth as well as stock market. The second, of course, would be the US subprime market, which you have seen the problem is still to be resolved. And thirdly would be the liquidity inflow, especially from places like Japan, which is very sensitive to carry trade situation. So we have to be careful of all these factors. But so far, we are quite optimistic on the outlook of the market. Obviously, it would be a boost to the overall economy as well as the market. One thing, of course, the Olympic Games, there will be a lot of infrastructure work to be done, so that will help on the economy. And secondly, we'll also attract tourists from all over the world. So I think all in all, and also people will think that because of Olympic coming, the Chinese government obviously will not put a lot of pressure on the economy that will dampen the economic growth as well as the stock market. So I think a lot of sectors will benefit from the Olympic Games, especially on the airlines and retail sector. Always pick the quality stocks, and I think on the sectors who are particularly favorable on the financial as well as the resources sector. So I think there will be a lot of good choices from those sectors.